in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to bring to you everyday current topic. But today our topic is role of youth in women empowerment. Before I will go to the topic, I would like to inform you that today India is celebrating Armed Forces Flag Day. The Armed Forces Flag Day or the Flag Day of India is a day dedicated to India towards collection of funds from people of India for the welfare of the Indian Armed Forces personnel. It has been observed annually in India on December 7 since 1949. Over the years, it has become a tradition to commemorate this day as an honor to the soldiers, sailors, and airmen of India. Immediately after India achieved independence, a need arose for the government to manage the welfare of its defense personnel. On August 28, 1949, a committee set up under the defense minister decided to observe a flag day annually on December 7th. The idea behind observing a flag day was to distribute small flags to the general population and in return collect donations. Flag Day gains more significance as it considers that it is the responsibility of the civilian population of India to take care of the families and dependents of the armed forces personnel who fight for the country. We hope that all will contribute for this noble cause on this day. The world is celebrating today the International Civil Aviation Day. In 1996, the United Nations General Assembly proclaimed that 7th December was to be the International Civil Aviation Day. The day has been celebrated by the International Civil Aviation Organization since 7th December 1994, the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Convention on International Civil Aviation. The purpose of the day is to recognize the importance of aviation, especially international air travel, to the social and economic development of the world. The purpose of International Civil Aviation Day is to help generate and reinforce worldwide awareness of the importance of international civil aviation to the social and economic development of states and of the unique role of ICAO in helping states to cooperate and realize a truly global rapid transit network at the service of all mankind. We wish everyone a very happy International Civil Aviation Day. Now coming to our today's topic, that is role of youth in women empowerment. The empowered woman is powerful beyond measure and beautiful beyond description. The youth is the hope of our future. Women's empowerment is the process of empowering women. Empowerment can be defined in many ways. However, when talking about women's empowerment, it means accepting and allowing women who are on the outside of the decision-making process into it. Women's empowerment is the most crucial point to be noted for the overall development of a country. Empowerment is the process that creates power in individual over their own lives, society, and in their communities. People are empowered when they are able to assess the opportunities available to them without limitations and restrictions such as in education, profession, and lifestyle. Feeling entitled to make your own decisions create a sense of empowerment. Empowerment includes the action of raising the status of women through education, raising awareness, literacy, and training. Women's empowerment is all about equipping and allowing women to make life-determining decisions through the different problems in society. Women's economic empowerment refers to the ability for women to enjoy their right to control and benefit from the resources, assets, income, and their own time, as well as the ability to manage risk and improve their economic status and well-being. Entire nations, businesses, communities, and groups can benefit from the implementation of programs and policies that adopt the notion of women empowerment. Empowerment of women is a necessity for the very development of a society since it enhances both the quality and the quantity of human resources available for development. Women's empowerment and achieving gender equality is essential for our society to ensure the sustainable development of the country. Many world leaders and scholars have argued that sustainable development is impossible without gender equality and women's empowerment. Sustainable development accepts environmental protection, social and economic development, including women's empowerment. Therefore, scholars agree that women's empowerment plays a huge role in development and is one of the significant contribution of development. The status of women in India has been subject to many changes over the span of recorded Indian history. Their position in society deteriorated early in India's ancient period, especially in the Indo-Aryan speaking region, and their subordination continued into India's early modern period. Practices such as female infanticides, dowry, child marriage, and the taboo on widow remarriage, which began in upper caste Hindu society in northern India, have had a long duration, proving difficult to root out, and in the instance of dowry, have spread to all castes, classes, and even religions. A Thomas Reuters Foundation survey says that India is the fourth most dangerous place in the world for women to live in. Today, youths need to understand and agree to the importance of women empowerment in the society. The youths have the power to create a change. And today, to discuss and to give their views, we have 7 youths pan India. They are going to give their views. And we have a chief guest. I welcome my chief guest of today's program. She is Miss Gauri Kumar, IAS. Before I will introduce, I will just say that she is a proud organ donor. She has placed her organs to be donated. That is a very, very big thing. I must salute her for pledging to donate organs. And I appeal to everyone to follow her and see that they should pledge to donate organs so that more than 5 lakhs people who are dying for want of organ every year in India can be saved. Now, to introduce Ms. Gauri Kumar IAS, she is a retired member of 1979 batch of Indian Administrative Services IAS. She possesses varied experiences of governance at various levels of state and union governments, cutting across a wide cross-section of sectors. She retired as Secretary, Coordination and Public Grievances, Cabinet Secretariat in 2015 and served as member chairperson of the Public Enterprises Selection Board from 2015 to 2018 post her retirement. In the course of her distinguished career, she has been a former secretary in the Union Ministry of Labor and Employment as well as in the Ministry of Home Affairs. Ms. Gauri Kumar has served as a special additional secretary, Ministry of Mines, and additional secretary and financial advisor, Ministry of Environment and Forests. She has also been principal secretary, Urban Development, Industries and Mines, Industries Commissioner, and Secretary, Education Department in Government of Gujarat. She also held the position of Director General, National Institute of Fashion and Technology, Ministry of Textiles. Ms. Gauri Kumar holds a degree of BSc in Physics, Mathematics and Statistics from Allahabad University. She completed her MSc in Mathematics from Lucknow University and was awarded 7 gold medals in the course of her studies for exceptional academic distinction. She also has a master's in public administration from the John F. Kennedy School of Government, Harvard University. As a fellow of the Edward G. Mason Program in Public Policy and Management, she was awarded the Literary Fellowship by Harvard for commitment to excellence, academic achievement, and public service. She is having so much to say. I can't, if I will read, I think the program I have to just see her CV only I have to read. Welcome, Ms. Gauri Kumar, and I am sure you are such an inspirational I will say youth again, because you have done so much studies and you have hold so much powerful position, and still you are so modest. And I must say that once I called you, immediately you said, yes, this is the modesty which is required today. And we are talking today, the program is the role of youth in women empowerment. So I request now the Miss Gauri Kumar to say give her views, role of youth in women empowerment. Miss Gauri Kumar, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lal Goel. With your passion and your dedication, I think it's a pleasure to be on your program. And we have these 7 youths with us. So, hello, Abhijit, Grisha, Lloyd, Mariam, Rupal, Shema, and Zora. Uh,
Hello, ma'am.
Hi. We, our generations grew up under the shadow of the British rule, whereas you guys have been born free, free to dream, free to envision, free to transform. And so a lot of expectations, a lot of hopes are riding on all of you. When we talk of women empowerment, it's a very interesting treatise. You look at the classic literature. From Yatra Naryantu Pujyaste Ramante Tatra Devata in Sanskrit to Dhol Gawar Shudra Pashu Nari Ye Sab Tadan Ke Adhikari. So, you can find from a place where women were revered, women were considered very distinctive. We have so many women goddesses, female goddesses. We are one country which has had, prime minister, chief minister, so many females. Uh, it is very interesting that we have the entire spectrum of views on women. Uh, so let me quote a little bit of statistics to you. When you talk of life expectancy, uh, if you look at the population census in 2011 to 13, the sex ratio was 909 females per 1,000 males. It came down. It came down in 2013 to 15 to 900 females per 1,000 males. Now, the life expectancy of women, very interestingly, is more than males. So, whereas in the population, we have only 900 women now against 1,000 males, the life expectancy of females was 70.2 against the life expectancy of males at 67.4. Sorry, I'm a student of mathematics and statistics, and I feel that it is always good to, to base your opinions and your views based on facts. And that's why I rattled out these facts. Now, what does it show? It shows that somewhere it's believed that at birth, the sex ratio is more or less 50-50 globally. Now, it shows that some women have got lost in between, from birth to growing up, because now we only have 48.3%, 48.03% females in the population. Now, in popular literature, they are called as missing girl child. Before we talk of empowerment, let's talk of reality. They're called as a missing girl child. There is a famous professor, Amartya Sen. He coined this term called the missing girl child. Where is this girl child getting missed? Some people say it is female infanticide. Some people say it is sex selection. Whatever it is, there is a problem. Girls are seen as a burden, rightly or wrongly. That is for us to examine. Why are they seen as a burden? Dowry, difficult to protect, uh, they go to another house. Now, these things existed at one point of time. Today, things have changed. We are living in a very dynamic world. Things have changed. But our thought process is frozen in that time where girls were looked at as a burden. So let us see if we feel very strongly about it, that girls are not a burden. Let us start looking at it, what it is that we can do from where we are, as a girl or a boy. Very interestingly, again, the labor force participation rate. What is labor force participation rate? How many women participate in economic activities outside of home? Outside of home. Now, the labor force participation rate in India is one of the lowest. Lower even than our neighbors, Pakistan and other countries. It's even lower than that. So, It came down actually again from 11, 12. 33.1% women were participating in economic activities. And in 17, 18, only 25.3% ladies in the productive age group of 15 to 69 were participating in economic activities outside their home. Unfortunately, the work at home is not even considered an economic activity, though there is a lot of literature. Now, let's see what it is that we can do. Yeah, I just gave you the context. We are talking of female empowerment in a society where females are considered a burden and we have missing girl children. Now, this is the reality. People do have very strong prejudices, biases. You know, ladki hoti hai, so people feel sad. Oh my God, I'll now have to collect dowry for her. I'll have to marry her off. I'll have to look after her till that time. So let's look what it is that we can do. What it is that we can do in our family. We have two boys here with us, Abhijit and Lloyd. And what it is that we can do. If our sister is not given food, and we are given very good food, which is generally what happens, at least up north, as Mr. Goel said, can we insist, I'm not going to eat unless my sister eats. I'm not going to go to school unless my sister goes to school. Unless my mother is permitted to work. We are living in poverty. COVID has made it even more difficult. We are living in poverty. Why can't we get our mother to work if she has the capability and she can find a means to do it? Now, actually, COVID has been a game changer in many ways, including for women. It's a very interesting thing that COVID has done. You know, what has COVID done? COVID has said you can sit at home, work from home. What does it do for women? I think it is transformational for women. You can work at your own convenience, your own hours. You don't have to travel. You don't have the problem of your parents worrying, oh, Zora is going to work. How's she? Is she all right? Can she work? I hope she has reached her office properly. The digital revolution today has done wonders, can do wonders for women empowerment. If we are able to leverage it, you know, if we are able to use the digital revolution to find our own feet, to do something and add to the income of the family. Now, today, the families are also, you know, COVID has taken away a lot of economic, it is posed new economic challenges before the family. So the family is very happy. If sitting at home, you can get some money. And there are opportunities to do it. You know, there's a very interesting Pakistani serial. It is about a family. The mother has three daughters. Three daughters. So the husband's family says that, you know, daughters are a burden. You must marry again. So the fellow marries again and has a boy. And then that serial goes on to show how the girls stood up by their father, by their mother. They worked hard, they worked at home, they worked diligently, and they started earning some salary to help their mother, to help their father. So girls, and I'm now addressing Grisha, Mariam, Rupal, Shima, and Zura. It is for you to show your capability, to show your worth. And there's no better opportunity than COVID. Now, I told you the positive aspect of COVID. The negative aspect of COVID is that we are all at home, cooped up. You know, if you're poor, in small houses, people are frustrated. People have psychological problems. And who gets the worst hit? It is the women in the family who get the worst hit. They are the most vulnerable. They would not be able to react as much as the boys will do or the men will do. And that is why we have more cases of of uh, you know women atrocities. There are more helplines. Helpline is getting more cases of atrocities. We have more cases of trafficking of girls. Um, so 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 the whole point is what it is that we can do. You know, there is this Tata Group. It's a very interesting. All of you would have heard of Tata Group. So we were having, I was in a ministry and we were having a presentation on how do we increase participation of women in workforce. That was a presentation. And the Tata Group made a presentation and said that we have an internal target to increase the number of women in our workforce, not because we are doing it for the sake of women, because we believe that the more women participate in management, the more mature the management, the more sensitive, the more sustainable the management practices begin. So there is so much of possibility. People recognize today very strongly the very sensibility that a woman brings on the table in a group, in a team, in a company, in the house, in society, in communities, in the nation. Everybody recognizes. And that's why the Prime Minister, I don't know if you remember, in 2015 on Independence Day, he said, I'm not asking the girls to sit at home. I'm saying the mothers of the boys, check with them. Where are they going? So can we respect the women before empowering? The women doesn't need empowerment. They are self driven. They have been working against very difficult circumstances. They have been fighting all their life to be recognized for their merit. They are not short on merit. They are short on opportunity of the society offers them, permits them, because the permission is still the most critical. So to my mind, if we let women do what they're capable of doing, they can really do wonders. They are very empowered. But in our context, what it is that we can do to get respect for women? You know, if somebody talks lightly about a woman as a girl or a boy, can we change that conversation? Can we say that no, I have a lot of regard for women. I know women, and that's where you people come in. So I'm looking forward to listening from you as to what you, each one of you, thinks you can do where you are, with all the restrictions that you have, with all the constraints that you have, what it is that you can do. So I'm keenly waiting to listen to you guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Gauri Kumar. And she has started her talk by saying that at one time the women was respected, rather they were prayed, or they were giving full importance, or they were giving the place like goddess in India. And the other side, she has not named, but it was, I think, the Tulsidas ji has written, if I'm not wrong, that about that the woman is to be compared with the animals. So she said that in all the diversities, whatsoever has happened, but the woman is someone who is the main pillar, not for the family, but for the entire nation. And she said that during the COVID, the positive aspects are that we have become empowered ourselves because of the digitalization. The women are earning, sitting at home, and the way they are doing it, even during this COVID time. And I can add about the homemade food. If today men feel that they are saved, this is because of the mother, sister, wife, and daughters' homemade food which they are eating. Unfortunately, in India, the kitchen work is more or less is for the women, which is going to be changed, and which is changing now. The new generation is participating even in the kitchen work also. And she says that because she's a mathematician and she believes in statistics, and she has given some statistics about how the women were earlier, the ratio which has decreased and whatnot. And she has also make a very interesting point about the presentation of Tata Group. And she says that Tata Group says that we are internally taking more and more women in our management, so that the decisions taken by the women are more matured and the interest for the company, also the country. Now, when she said the statistics, I am giving a statistics to Ms. Kumar. See, the population in India is 48.03, as you said. But that today in our parliament, there are only 78 MPs in Lok Sabha. out of 543, which works out to be only 14.36%. Now, in Rajya Sabha, there are only 25 MPs out of 245, which is only 10.20%. Why? When one side you only said that the Tata Group has presented to the government, I can understand the Lok Sabha winnable conditions, all the parties gives to the criminals, all those Bahubalis or Dabangs or those with money and power. Fine. What about Rajya Sabha? What about upper house? That is where we can very well give to the ladies the 50%, which no party is talking about. They want a reservation for the entire parliament. Instead of that, they must ask only the reservation even in the upper house, because upper house is also having a power to restrict a bill, change the bill, amend the bill, to go for the select committee, etc. Anyway, that is one thing. Now coming to the youth, which is the main thing. Youth also, I can tell you the figure before I will take the today in the first parliament, Lok Sabha, there was 26% youth were there, which were below 45 years. And today in this parliament is only 12%, while the population of youth in India is 65%. So one can very well understand when we talk very high, we can do these things. But when we come for the management or the administration or the politics or to rule the country, neither the women nor the youth comes forward and see to it, because if the youth is 65%, they can rule. If women are almost 50%, at least that much percentage, they should be there in the management or administration or the government. Now, I would like to invite my guest, youth guest first. He is Mr. Abhijit Radhakrishnan. Mr. Abhijit Radhakrishnan is an assistant professor of English at Naipunya School of Management. He has authored 2 books and has published various articles in online publication. An avid learner, he has completed certificate courses offered by premier institutions, including the University of Southampton and the University of Edinburgh. Welcome, Mr. Abhijit Radhakrishnan. You have already heard of what our chief guest has spoken. And now she also waiting, we all are waiting, that what are the views of youth. So please tell your views, the role of youth in women empowerment. Mr. Abhijit Radhakrishnan, please.
Thank you, sir, for the kind words. And yes, the empowerment of women, or the representation of women in our economy, in our society, is a major point of discussion in throughout the world, especially in a country like India. And so we have a lot of discussions about women empowerment in the arenas of politics, in education, in the professional workplaces, then in art, then in cinema, literature. Almost everywhere we have discussions about women empowerment. It pops up all the time. And since we had a discussion, a minor discussion with you and with Gauri ma'am about the practical and the political and the social questions of empowerment, I think I would talk about the cultural and the psychological aspects of the same thing, which is often normally overlooked when it comes to a discussion about women. Okay, so normally we have a notion, we have a general notion that we are moving forward in terms of women empowerment. That, but the question is, are we really empowering women, or do we really add to the point where we reach a point where women are empowered? Are they safe? Are women safe in the world, not just in India? Are they safe everywhere in the world? The answer is no. And when I say they're not safe, I don't just mean the physical abuse and other kinds of violations that they have to face, but it is much deeper than that. I mean, for me, I think it is much deeper than that. It is much more subtle. It is manifested in very seemingly harmless and innocent ways. The sexism and the gender inequality faced by women in society, not just women. Of course, when we start a discussion about women empowerment, I think we should also include a study or a discussion about the other gender, the third gender, which we call as transsexuals and transgenders. I think we should also include them in this discussion. And like I said, sexism and gender inequalities manifest through different ways and through different seemingly harmless and innocent manners and mannerisms. So, as someone who teaches, as someone who has taught gender studies as a paper for my students, I can say that every cultural artifact or every cultural relic, so to speak, It can be arts, it can be literature, it can be cinema, it can be movie posters, it can be advertisements, it can be even the sense of morality that we have as a community. Everything is fundamentally against women. When you think about it, everything that we have around us, everything that we think, everything that we say is actually, in one way or the other, against the idea of women, against the idea of feminism. Even language is problematic. I mean, there are many examples. Since I teach language, I can say that there are many instances of the problems in language that we see every day. I mean, for example, it is like a being male or being a man is always the norm when it comes to language. In a very short example, I think I can explain my point very briefly, like you said. For example, when you're writing a letter, when you're writing a formal letter to someone, you write in the salutation, you write dear sir slash or dear sir or madam. Why not the other way around? Why not dear madam or sir? Even in that basic instance, even in that basic minute thing, we have a particular liking towards, we have a particular affinity towards the male side. Or you have a doctor. If he's a male doctor, you call him as doctor. But if she's a female doctor, if she's a woman, we attach one word to the beginning, lady doctor. We call her lady doctor. But if he's a man, we call him just doctor. Again, especially in the South Indian film industry, we have many superstars in cinema. If he's a man, we call him superstar. If she's a woman, we call her lady superstar. Because being a superstar is something by default belonging to man. So it is difficult for a woman to come into that. So we have to add one particular word to the beginning, lady superstar. Then we have in the past we used to have words like fireman, chairman. Now it has changed to firefighter, chairperson, and even and chairwoman is getting attention right now, so that is not a problem. And even the word empowerment. Empowerment means giving power to the powerless. So what does that actually mean? I think very from a very personal point of view, I think it is a difficult, it's slightly problematic word to give power to someone. So to give power to women is like accepting that women are powerless. It's like acknowledging the fact that you are powerless. So I, as a man, or I, as a person who dictates masculinity, can give you power. So if a woman is powerless, and if I am claiming that I can empower you, that means I am more powerful than you, and I can help you. So that is
Okay.
actually a little bit of problem, I think. So that is what I had to say. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Abhijit, for giving your views. But when you are talking about powerless and power, uh, everybody knows, like our chief guest has also said, whether the families are teaching the values to the boys or not, because it is a perception in our society that we must give good values to the girls. What about the good values to the boy? Why the girl should have a fear to go out in the night? Why the boy should not have the fear to go in the night? It is very clear, because the boys have not been taught a lesson in the from the very beginning, that the girls have to be respected. They are not something where they will feel insecure, and that's why the topic is empowerment, because we have to be in the reality. And the reality, as I mentioned to some statistics, and our chief guest has also given the statistics, which very clearly says that in India especially, the condition of women are not that good as in other countries. Definitely there is a difference, and for which we means everyone wants the role of youth, because youths are 65%. And today, if you all will take a decision, and if you all make a motto that no girl or no woman will face any type of crime, then definitely the society will change. Thank you very much, Mr. Abhijit, for giving your views. Now I would like to move to my next youth guest, and she is Miss Grisha Rajesh Salyan. Miss Grisha is a PU student. Her hobbies are calligraphy, reading books, and anchor stitch. She is an active speaker, listener, and communicator. She wants to become a marketing expert. Welcome, Miss Grisha, on this show. You have already heard what our chief guest has mentioned, and what your other earlier panelist has mentioned. Now, we would like to know from you the role of youth in women empowerment. Please unmute yourself and go ahead. Please, Miss Grisha, please unmute yourself. I think Miss Grisha can, yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Educate a man and you educate an individual. Educate a woman and you educate a family. One day, I asked my neighbor, Ramya, what does she want to become? She says she wants to become a doctor, but her parents convinced her for letting her dreams die. They preyed on this fear and proposed a solution marriage. They convinced her that marriage is a solution to all her problems and a reason for her existence. This shell shook me. A question arose in my mind. Why is marriage the only important factor for a woman? There is a situation here. A girl who is around 27 or 28 years, well settled, having her own business, living her own dreams, but she is not married. The society gossips or talks about why she isn't married. They don't see the struggle behind what she's reached the peak of her success because the society is like this. There is a problem only our generation can solve. How will we contribute to growth if we can't achieve or create equal opportunities? Do we believe in equal opportunities? No gender biases. May the best person get the best job, ignoring the fact whether it's a woman. Do we believe in equal wages for equal work? The goal of women empowerment is to create or is to improve women's opportunities in various domains. For example, education, which is a basic human right, acquiring basic skill literacy, and further higher education. Second comes legal rights such as property rights, etc. Terms like child marriage, displacement, choosing or selecting men over women, boys over girls, and sexual violence should be disrupted. Women need a seat at the table. They need an invitation to be seated there. And if this isn't available, then they have to create their own table. We need to understand the importance of being a voice for our peers and advocate for young girls and women around the world who may not have the opportunity like us sitting over here have, expressing our views and points. A girl's education not just empowers families but communities and economies. As entertainers, influencers, or any other stream, I feel it is our social responsibility to be a voice for the voiceless. Coming to the point, we, the youth, should be the trailblazer and cut off from the generational ties and curses that have been imposed on us. I agree with Sir, as he said, we should educate our son to respect women. Parents should tell their son that if you disrespect a girl or a woman, that means you're disrespecting your mother. Before talking about someone, just imagine the women, the females in the house. Society should never consider women less than men. I would urge more women to speak out. It is not okay to feel inferior or weak because we are not the weaker sex by any stretch of imagination. May we empower each other to carry out such a vision because it isn't simply enough to talk about equality and one must believe it. And it isn't simply enough to believe it, one must work at it. Let us all work at it together, starting now, respecting each and every one and believing in ourselves that we can make a change. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Grisha. Yes, one has to believe on herself or themselves, then only they can. But you have made a point and you said that the change has to come. But as I gave the statistics, as well as the chief guest has also given the statistics, you are 65% and you are a woman also, and they are almost 50%. Why? Then why the changes are not coming? Who is creating hindrance when you are in majority? And democracy always ruled by majority. We are a country which is run by in a democratic way. So it means there is a lacuna among the women only. There is a lacuna among youth. And this has to be removed by you only. No government, no other person are going to remove. It is you. If youth and the women will decide that we have to change the attitude, you have to start from your own home. If your parents will do any discrimination, you have to stop there. You have to tell them, you have to teach them, you have to politely, you have to mention to them, no, this is not correct. It was earlier, but not now. The day should come when on the Raksha Bandhan, which is popular festival in northern India or many parts of India, the girl should tie, a girl is tying the Rakhi to the boy. Boy should tie a Rakhi to the girl, and girl should say that I am going to save you whenever there is a problem on you. It should be now like this, not the earlier one when the boy said, I am going to save you. Thank you very much, Ms. Grisha, for your views. Now I would like to go to my next youth guest, and he's Mr. Lloyd Pinto. Mr. Lloyd Pinto has a master's degree in finance, and he's a black belt in karate. He is at Bangalore working for an investment management company. He also practices and teach karate outside his working hours. Having discussions with people on various topics which affect human life and presenting them through blogs is a hobby to him. He also reads books on outer space history, theology, psychology, and biographies. Welcome, Mr. Lloyd Pinto on our show. Mr. Lloyd Pinto, you have heard what our chief guest and your earlier panelists have spoken. Now, we would like to know your views on the role of youth in women empowerment. Mr. Lloyd Pinto, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Goel. I would like to start by talking about reservation. Most of that, whenever we talk about women empowerment, most of the people, they say reservation is the solution. But I would say reservation can be the first step towards actual women empowerment. So there are companies or governments which say, I mean, we should give 33% or 40% or 50% reservation for women. But what happens after they get those jobs or get the seats in the institutions or colleges or anywhere? So what happens after securing the reservation is more important. So what I would say is we should start correcting this problem from the grassroots level. That is the education. It starts from the primary education. I mean, if you see the stories that are told in schools, so if you perfectly observe, I mean, how they are told, that makes a big difference. For example, there might be a story where the father is working and mother is a homemaker. I mean, such stories can be told in a reverse way. Maybe we can tell that non-working father and working mother. We can start telling such stories in schools. And also, we should stop gender stereotyping. That's the biggest problem that we face these days. As a teacher, I have seen among my students, whenever we take girls for tournaments, so there were many parents who were not hesitant because it's a martial art, it's a karate. I mean, they might get hurt or they might injure themselves or something like that. So what we have done is we call the parents and we talk to them. We make them understand that even the boys and the girls, they're trained in the same way. So if you don't give them opportunities like this, they might not get this confidence. I mean, learning self-defense is different and applying it is a different thing. So talking to the parents and making them understand what is actually right and what is wrong is very important. So, and one more thing is whenever somebody, maybe a girl is planning to take up any activity, mostly physical activity, what we shouldn't discourage them. Imagine there is a team imagine there's a basketball tournament and the school doesn't have a girls team. If somebody is willing to go for it, if somebody is willing to start a team, we shouldn't stop them there. We should encourage them. I mean, we can't just say that, okay, there's no girls team, you can't play. I mean, that will just discourage their willingness to come forward. That is one thing. And second thing is the stereotyping that we do. We shouldn't limit few of the activities or things only for men and only for women. That we see in day-to-day life. If you see, if a man is staying at home and his wife is working, so there are people in the society who comment negatively about those men. I mean, we should stop when whoever is commenting negatively on those things. And next thing is there is a way of feminism versus equalism. So what is happening is feminism, the concept of feminism is misunderstood, misinterpreted, and misused. So there are many men who think that feminism is about bringing men down and praising women. That's not the thing. It's about getting gender equality. It's about getting telling men and women that we all are equal. I mean, we should give respect to people based on their merit and what they do in life, not based on their gender. That is what I believe in. And what I would say is we are not doing a favor to women by giving them opportunities or respect or anything on such matters. They deserve it. As every individual deserves respect and equal opportunity. And as Grisha said, many parents or society thinks that marriage is the ultimate goal of a woman. That is not the thing. I mean, I've seen parents educating their girl child, and after graduation or masters, immediately after the education, they get them married. They don't get to explore life. I mean, they should be, whenever you see such things, we should question them. The marriage is not the ultimate goal, or maybe for a man or woman. It's what they do in life, how they bring change in the society. That is more important. And we should, what we do is whenever we see something negative, we should raise questions. We should support those people or help those people who are willing to bring a change or are willing to come forward in life and who are not getting opportunities. And I would like to conclude saying that we should question when it may be a women empowerment or it may be anything. We should question when there is something wrong. Only then we can bring change. And I would like to mention that few months back, I read a book called A Good Wife by Samra Zafar. So her story was she was forced into marriage, and her husband promised that he will let her study once they move to Canada. But what happens when she gets married and moves there is a different story. The husband's parents, her in-laws, won't let her continue her studies, but still she fights for it, and she takes help from her colleagues and her neighbors and her friends, and she comes out of that marriage and she completes her graduation and she's working in a multinational company. So such stories have to be told. Whenever you come across such books or any stories, you have to tell people, maybe through social media or anywhere. You should tell people. So that might inspire somebody on some part of the world to do change, to bring change. So that's all from my side, and thanks for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lloyd Pinto. You have raised 2 points, very important point. First was about the sports. You said that girls should be allowed to play in the basketball or karate. But the reality, we have to be in the real world. Today we have our Indian cricket team, men cricket team playing in Australia. Everyone is glued to the TV. Okay, what about the women cricket team? When they played, are you watching? Are we watching? Even the women are not watching. So the mentally, we have to change our own psyche. If the youth will not change, then who is going to change? If tomorrow, if the women cricket team or hockey team will get more eyeballs or people will like to see more, definitely the perception will change. Automatically, the sports will get the priority and the women will get the priority. But right now, nobody wants to see. So everybody is watching the men's cricket team or men's hockey team or whatnot. That is one. Second point, which you have mentioned about the marriage. Yes, but do you know why the parents want to marry a girl early? Because there is a huge crime rate in India. Because of that, they feel that now they are old. Who is going to take care of the girl? And that's why they want, for the security, they want to marry the girl. But if there is no crime or violence against women, definitely no parents wants to marry a girl after the girl or the boy all are their child. Why they would like that the child should go away from them. So this is the thing. Here the youth has to play a very, very important role. If youth will say, no, we will see to it that we will watch all the matches which women or girls are playing, definitely the psyche will change and the girls will participate more. No need of telling anybody. You have to do it yourself. Similarly, if you will make an environment, if youth will take the pledge that nobody will commit a crime against women, definitely no parent would like to do a early marriage without the consent of the daughter. That is my take. Thank you very much, Mr. Lloyd, for giving your views. Now I would like to invite my next youth guest, and she is Miss Mariam Jaima. Miss Mariam is a final year psychology, English, and journalism student from Alwas Degree College, belonging to a rising clan of women entrepreneurs in the city. Inspired from her mother, who sourced different incomes to raise her kids single-handedly, she is now the proud owner of a small craft startup, Hand Miracle, making use of her God-gifted creative skills. She also loves public speaking and motivational talks and aims to be an inspiration for the young little girls around her. Miss Mariam, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. A very warm good morning to everyone here. So, what I wish to, or what I want to convey to you all is that, as our topic is all about the role of youth on women empowerment, before playing a particular role, I wanted our youth to understand the importance of what is women empowerment is all about, what is a woman is capable of. Without understanding that, you never could play a role of guiding them or empowering them. So the first thing all our youth should understand is the power a woman has, a talent, her caliber, respect. First thing, every youth around us, first thing we have to teach them, we have to understand the youth or give guidelines to the youth what a woman is all capable of. Only after knowing that we are able to, or we can obviously empower them. So the first thing that I wish to tell that the role of youth is very important because they all know that youth plays a very important and powerful role in the society today. So the youth has to begin from home, I feel, because here I would like to mention we know most of our parents are homemakers and we consider them as homemakers. And as youth, and today in this generation, as development is a lot, a technology basis or in any basis, the development is increasing day by day. And I would love to give an example. When we are playing on a phone or a mobile phone or something related to technology, and when your parents tell that when she asks what you're doing, we meant to tell that you don't know. So it's better not to tell. You won't understand what I am if I tell you. Instead, what if we make her sit along with us and teach her these are the things, how you, like if example it comes to technology, let us show that this is the way how you have to use it. So I think every youth starts from your home. So the first thing what you have to do is everyone has your parent, like you have your mom, you have your sister, you will be having anybody who doesn't know the things. So first, what as a youth or as a coming up generation, as a student, what we think is we have to teach the people who is not knowing about it. So that's the first thing what we can do is only after they know about it, education, as we all see, education is the most important thing. Until or unless we educate them, we can't empower them. They don't know about the opportunities around them. So the first thing what we have to do is we have to educate them from the beginning. That's from our home. Let us know about our parents' interest. I know, like any of us, do we know what our parents are really interested about? What your mom is really interested about? We know that she loves cooking. She may cook for us. She guides us done. Okay, fine. But what about her interests? What about her passion? Anyone knows like what our mom has interested in or what her passion is all about? We never questioned her and we never asked her, but she does, and she gives us all opportunities. So similarly, I think as a student, as a parent, like as a kid, as a child, you can start from your home. Let your mom explore, let your parents know the things what is around them. Give them a space. Unless they're a parent or a wife, let them be an individual of their self. So the first thing what we have to do as a youth, as an individual, let your parents we'll start from home, because we always tell if the women move on, the family moves, and obviously the society moves with them. So the first thing what we can do is let all understand their parents, like mom or sister, let us know about their interest and let us support them unless only they are supporting us. So that's one thing I wanted to say. And the second thing, when it comes to society, when it comes to our country like India, we have a varied culture. We have a different culture with different norms and social aspects. So I could say from my community, as I'm coming from such a community, I think we girls have got a very less opportunity aspects. We are meant to get married when we are 18 because social norms or the culture was followed like that. And I felt something interesting thing that I would mention is like recently there was a talk that may a law come that Modi is going to change the marriage age from 18 to 21. And what I have seen in my place or in my community is that everyone who's the age of 18, they're like getting married within a week. Like everyone is getting married. Whoever I'm seeing, whoever is not, they're getting married. For the what aspect that because she's growing old, if she couldn't marry at 18, you have to wait till 21. Why can't a girl sit at home till 21? What happens if she's there at your home for 21 years? What if you can't provide like why can't you provide her education, her opportunities, unless making her think that marriage is everything? So what I think is we have to give we have to give them awareness that a girl is something very powerful of. She's not unless she's not a property of marriage or a family, there is much more an individual she is. What she's capable of, she is, all talent she has. We have to give her opportunity to explore about it. So that's another thing I have to say. And here I would like to say about the role what youth has to play in another aspects. Social media is one of the powerful medium right now in this world. And I think every youth is a part of social media. And being a youth, why can't you use social media for women empowerment or for the aspect of women opportunities to promote your family members, your women people around you, to give them opportunities? Second thing, give them a space to explore themselves so that they will come to what they want to. And yeah, these are the things I would love to convey. Thank you for your question. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mariam. And she has raised 2 points again. First point is to empower the woman folks of the home, and especially the mother. Our chief guest has mentioned in her inaugural a speech, that she says that the COVID time, the positive aspect that the one was working from home. The negative point was that all the pressure was on the women of the home. Now, what it means? It means that the men or the boys of the house were not working. They were just sitting. They were working from home. Doesn't mean that they will not have time to do some kitchen work. And no one, not even the youth, the boys or the girls have even thought how the mother is going in that time, because everyone require a me time. Me time means when you have your own luxury time, when you can think, you can talk to your friends, you can talk to your family members, or you can but here what has happened that you are only concentrating on for your own self. So the youth has to do one thing which you have rightly said, is that they must empower the mother. If you will empower your own mother, then the second point which you raised about the 18 years or 21 years, even I say, why 21 years? 24, 25, 27, 30. If boy can have a delay marriage, why not the girls? First you achieve, see something, then marry. But for that, your mother has to be empowered properly. If she's empowered, definitely no one can force any wrong thing in your home. Thank you very much, Miss Mariam, for giving your views. Now I would like to move to my next guest and youth guest, and she is Miss Rupal Shetty. Miss Rupal Shetty is a passionate photographer and one of the brand ambassadors of the People We Meet digital photography platform. She is always smiling, ready to help, and open for social service. Miss Rupal Shetty, please unmute yourself. Yes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity, sir. So, like as Gauri ma'am said, women doesn't need to be empowered. It is really true because most of the time, empowerment is associated with economical empowerment. Like recently, I have witnessed this. So empowerment is not meant to be only economical empowerment. Recently, when I went for a official visit, I have to travel all over the village sectors. So when I went to one particular village in Beltangadi, Mangalore, uh, we believe Mangalore is little forward place in Karnataka, but there in that village, uh, the lady have taken a sieving machine, solar powered sieving machine, and all over through this COVID period where we say economic crisis, people are suffering, this lady has been the only earner, bread earner for the family. And she has four family members, her two sons, husband, and herself. When I went to her house to document what, like, the entire COVID situation, she was out of her house. I requested her to come stand near the sieving machine so that I can document with the photograph and write about it. She was not ready to enter, and I didn't know, like, she is in her own house, but she's not ready to enter the house. The remaining family members are not telling me what it is. The man of the family is asking if I can sit in the sieving machine. How can he sit when the bread earner, I mean, the one who served like COVID period, all economically she took care, how can he sit? I went out to her. I asked her, is there any problem, like what has happened? She started crying. Ma'am, this is my that time of the month. I don't know, I get very irritated when I hear that time of the month. Why? It is very natural, it is very natural for a female. And they have a custom that females who are going through that period, periods, menstruation cycle, they are not supposed to enter the house. It's okay if they prepare food outside and these sons and husband get it inside and eat. It's okay. But it's not okay they entering the house. The weather is bad, there is no proper shelter for her, and 5 days of every month she have to be out. See this, she is the one who is earning for the house, and she is treated like this. Where will her confidence go? Even if she's earning, she's empowered. Technically she's very empowered because she's taking care of the family. But what is her situation? What is her psychological situation? Is she really empowered? So empowerment in real term means a women need confidence, feel confidence in her, motivate her. Like last speaker, Mariam, I pronounce your name properly? So she said it right. Empower your mother. If I'm very thankful to COVID. Yeah, it's not a good time, but still I'm very thankful to COVID. I could sit with my parent, my aunt. I could know their interest. Now they are writers. They earn through writing. That is something good. I mean, there are a lot of opportunity where you should just be a link. You should be a link. Technically you would be well versed, but you have to. There are a lot of talent in women. You just need to bend it together, like be a bridge. Youth. The main point of youth is to be a bridge. My second point is we women have a lot of confidence. We always have that in head, like educated and well top corporate women thinks we are top, we know better than men. We have that attitude, but where will it fall? Being a woman, we have some terms where they say women can't dress like that. Like even when you're chumming, you will think twice to ask pad. Sanitary pad is a normal thing. Why should you hesitate to ask it with someone? Like even with my own dad, will I go and ask, dad, I need sanitary pad, I have a bad pain, I can't go out? Will we go and ask? No, we hesitate. We think it is a crime to go and ask that. So even that's one of the main problems. Second main problem, we go out, we can't be in a random place, like no, that is not possible. The government is least bothered about all these facilities. When women is achieving something, there are some hindrance which brings them back, pulls them back. If we are traveling somewhere, we'll think it twice. If we are traveling in bus, we'll think it twice where there will be a stop. Can we get down? Like what to do? I have recently researched on this, and I have seen that Telangana government have done a wonderful job. They have bought all this old buses. They have made this pink buses where this pregnant pregnant ladies, and it's for pregnant ladies and women mobile e-toilets, which is a very nice concept. Why can't government or youth association pitch on these kind of idea? These will empower women. When you feel confident, motivation, and say you can do it, there is nothing which can stop you. These will automatically create empowerment. And like as you all said, if a woman is empowered, whole family, whole society is empowered. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rupal. And Ms. Rupal has raised a very pertinent problem, and that is about the periods. Ms. Rupal, there recently one or two movies have come up out. Akshay Kumar has also acted in one of the movie. Now, the thing is, again, who is on fault? Fault lies with the youth. See, now you are talking openly. How many of the girls are talking openly? If you will, like what Mariam has said, again, I am going to that point which you have said. If you empower your mother and you say, no, this is going to happen and I want that these pets have to be purchased by my brother or my father, and you will dictate the terms. Dictate means you request them and you say, this is the problem. The day will come. If you will change at your home, then definitely the village, the city, the entire country will change. So like they say that there is a famous saying, charity begins from home. Even for any empowerment, it begins from home. And you have to ask your mother, you have to tell, because this thing became taboo because your mother might have told you. Your grandmother might have told you. So all these things are coming from the generations. So if you want to change, and which has to be changed, after all, there is nothing in other countries. Why only in India? I'm talking of the developed countries. So here the youth plays a very, very big role. And I'm sure the girls like you or the youths like you will definitely bring a big change in the country. Thank you very much, Ms. Rupal, for giving your very frank views about the problems which today the girls and the women are facing in India. Now, my next youth guest is Ms. Shima Prakash. She is an assistant professor at Naipunya School of Management, Kerala. She did her PG from Maratha College, Trivandrum. She is a believer of equality and that women are the mold for how the next citizens develop. Ms. Shima Prakash, please.
We have all heard the various opinions and ideas that have been presented here by the panelists. I would like to share with you all a very inspiring story of the perfect amalgamation between youth and women and the collective power that they own. UNICEF is supporting a women's organization in Zuf, a village in Jordan, to provide youth in their community with training and economic opportunities. Beit Suf was founded to empower local women who had limited employment opportunities to generate income through artisanal food production in their village in Jerash. In Suf, like in many parts of Jordan, young people face limited opportunities when transitioning from school to work. Since it opened, Beit Suf has offered a haven for youth who have finished education but cannot find further opportunities. Many of those are now engaged in the UNICEF supported training and are getting much needed support from its leaders. UNICEF is also assisting the women and youth to build stronger links with the private sector so that they have sustainable market access for their artisanal goods, including those who are now running home-based businesses. Some of the new linkages with the country's thriving tourism industry has also opened up a door to Beit Suf in receiving more visitors with hiking and cycling activities, and thus attracting more hungry tourists to eat and shop there. So we can see the youth have the power to create a change, and with the help of organizations who work with women and girls, a society with gender equality can be attained. What has been successfully achieved in Jordan has also been successfully achieved in our country, but with not much the publicity as it warrants. As we all know, women empowerment refers to increasing and improving the social, economic, political strength of the women and to ensure equal rights to them. Women, I believe, are the key drivers of economic growth, and that wealth in the hands of women leads to much more equitable outcomes in terms of the quality of life of families and communities. It is imperative that women and men should enjoy equal rights and opportunities in all aspects. This will not only engender women's well being, but will also increase their individual and collective prosperity, as well as the prosperity of the places in which they reside. Empowering women and youth plays a crucial role in the development of the society. An empowered woman reduces the gender disparity and leads to equality of men and women in the society. We can empower the girls and women by continuing their education and helping them achieve bigger dreams. We need to put this in the minds of youngsters, especially what is gender equality and how much it is crucial for the women to be an active partner in the economic growth of any society. We still have the young generation with thinking. We need to change that by teaching them that we need a progressive world with the women by our sides. To contribute, youths need to understand and agree to the importance of women empowerment in the society. So, promotion of education and the development as leaders are some of the tools that will increase visibility and strengthen the role of women. Improving and increasing education, awareness, and participation opportunities will help to improve the roles of young women in society. A better aligning of educational and training systems with the current and future needs of young people helps them to discern developmental issues and make them capable of suggesting innovative solutions to deep problems of development and growth. I pointed out all these keeping in mind not just a country but developing or underdeveloped countries in general. Thank you, and thank you to the organizers for giving this
Okay.
platform to share my views.
Thank you very much, Ms. Prakash. And you have raised a point, and you says that the internationally what is happening. But one thing is very clear: if you go to any country outside India, I am talking of the developed country, the men can vouch for it. In the men toilets, there is a changing board for the diapers, even in the men toilet. In India, there is no such thing. It means that the women has to change the diapers of the child, only not the man. Why not? So youth can take up this thing. See to it that even in the men toilets in India, in all the malls or the picture halls, wherever you are going, there should be a board for changing of the diapers. So when we are talk about other countries, we have to start. So youth plays a very big role for empowerment of women from a very, very basic things, whether empowering the mother, whether doing this, or teaching that the girl is equivalent to the boy. Respect them. Then only we can empower the women. And it's for everyone. Thank you very much, Ms. Seema Prakash, for giving your views. Now I would like to move to my next and the last youth guest, and she's Miss Jorha Sarguru. She's Miss Sarguru is a full-time software engineer. She's also started freelancing as a social media manager. She lives in Mumbai. Miss Sarguru, you have already heard the chief guest and all your earlier panelists. Now we would like to know your views on the topic, that is the role of youth in women empowerment. Miss Sarguru, please.
So I would like to focus on two topics today. Is first is representation of women, and another is toxic masculinity. When we talk about leadership roles, how many women have you seen in recent time that a young 5, 6 year old girl can look up to? I'm not saying there is no representation, but I'd like to bring your attention to a bit of statistics here. Only 3.7% of CEOs and managing directors of NSE are listed companies were women in
I just want to
2019.
Please mute yourself. One moment.
Sure.
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
And 8.9% of the firm have women in top management positions. What happens here is a young girl, a 5, 6 year old girl, does not have a role model to look up to. Who will she aspire to be? I'm not saying that there aren't women, but there aren't women in focus, in the spotlight. We don't put women in positions of power that are to be looked up to. Okay, we have women who are there, but not many women who come in front and are like, see, this is my business and this is what I do.
So when I was looking for opportunities to start my own marketing business, I was lost. I did not have anyone to look forward to. That's when I would like to reiterate what Mariam said. Social media is a huge ocean of people. I went there and I saw other women who are doing similar things that I was doing, and I reached out to one of them. And she took out the time of her day to give me the attention and me the knowledge that she already had. We always pitch women against each other, that you are supposed to compete with each other, you're supposed to fight with each other, not support and build each other up. So when we talk about empowering women, why not we empower each other first? Why not we take out time of our day to support other women who are working to empower themselves? So for me, what I have decided is from the minute I started my own marketing firm, I have committed that if a woman reaches out to me, I will make sure that I give her the resources that I have. If I don't have the resources, I will guide her to a place where she can get those resources. And this is micro mentoring. You just need to give your time and attention to someone who wants to do something in their life, who wants independence, who needs help. It's very basic and everyone can do it. The second thing that I would like to bring your attention to is your own home, where we promote toxic masculinity. So when we talk to a boy who's crying, we are like, hey, don't cry like a girl. This gives him the idea that a girl is weak, you're acting like a girl. Acting like a girl is bad, she's secondary, she's not your equal. So in your home, try and let your boys express emotions. Don't tell them that they are walking like a girl, they are playing like a girl. This is not the way to empower women. You are telling a boy that this is less than, a woman is less than, a girl is less than who you are. So when we talk to boys, make sure we are telling them that you need. So when we say that you need to respect girls, no, don't do that. That girls need respect. Respect everyone irrespective of their gender. Their gender do not define if they deserve respect or not. Do not hit girls. No, you should tell boys, do not hit anyone, point, period. Nothing goes above or beyond just because of your gender. We should not discriminate on the basis of gender, whether it's a girl or a boy. We need to bring them up as equals. Even in a city like Mumbai, my mother or me have faced this. So I have been told to my face that I don't know how to respect men because I don't have a brother in the house. So I don't know how to respect. Just for asking for what I want done for my business, just for asking them that this is what I want. That's it. I've been told you don't know how to respect men. I'm not here to respect men. I am running my own company. I don't need to respect you. I'm paying you for your services. I'm not going to respect you just because you asked me to. So these are certain things that we need to do in our household. That's it. That's my
Okay.
point for today.
Thank you, Ms. Sarguru, for giving your views. And you have raised one point that visibility of the leaders, especially in women, are not there. Our chief guest, she knows because she worked in the government. There is a reservation of panchayat for the women. And the condition, especially in North India, is that the pradhan or the person who become the chief of that panchayat, that elected the lady, instead of her, either her husband or her brother or father is taking the meeting. Now you know the corporate sector, as you are working, you are owning your own company. Now how it will look like that you are running your company and your father or your brother is sitting on the chair and they are taking all the decisions. So this is, we have to change. Change is coming. It's not like this. The government is taking, but instead of leaving everything on government, we must come forward. Youth, that is why you are 65%. When 65% wants to do something, they can change. But as you rightly said, women has to, we are asking them to fight with each other. Similarly for youth, please come out of that shell. Take a decision. No youth will fight with the other youth. No one, forget about the party alliance. Come, all youth should come together, all women should come together, then the change will come. No one can stop. Thank you very much. And now I would like to invite my chief guest again. You have heard, Ms. Gauri Kumar, the views of the youth. very diversified, very brilliant, very energetic, and new views. We would like to know from you rather the concluding or about the youth views which they have given, your views. Ms. Gauri Kumar, please.
Thank you, Ms. Goel. Very interesting, very passionate, very determined comments were made. Let me quickly just say, give the highlights of each. Abhijit talked about language, which actually is the bias in the language, the prejudice that is so integral to language. Grisha said something very interesting. She said, if not offered a seat on the table, create your own table. That is what people would call feminism, aggressive feminism. Lloyd talked about gender stereotyping. Mariam talked about respect for moms. Start from home, do something. Don't preach. You can't preach, you practice it. So start from home. And she talked of social media. Rupal, who's in digital photography, talked some very interesting things. Stigma during menstrual cycle. There is a lot that's being done, but there is much more that is required to be done. Um, and when we blame women for every problem, I think we are again getting into that typical stereotype of our own sensibility. When we say women don't do this, women ought to do this, it's not about women, it's about all of us. The society needs women in position of power, in position of decision taking. Shima talked about UNICEF's Jordan model, and Zora talked about toxic masculinity, and she talked about role models. Indra Nooyi is a great role model, and she talked of girls gangs, wow, women on wheels, and things like that. Let me just quickly try and summarize what we have discussed through the day and what it is that's a way forward. So point number one, it's not a woman's issue. It's not about a woman. It's about the society. The society will be a better place, everybody recognizes, for many reasons. You need to optimize your resources. By 50% of your workforce, only 25-30% coming in, you cannot be sustainable. Even economically, in your own interest, you can't be sustainable. Secondly, the sensibility, the deep understanding, the nuances that a woman brings, who puts food on the table irrespective of what she is doing. She puts food on the table whether there is food available or not. She puts food on the table for everybody. I think we cannot underestimate the capability of the women. So women need to be into, like the Tata Group said, they need to be with us in the management for better and more sustainable management practices. Youth is 2/3. The challenge is squarely that of the youth. And youth, I'm talking across gender. It is not about a girl, it's not about a boy. Across gender, the youth has to feel responsible to be the catalyst of change. As I said in the beginning, you were born free in a free country. You can dream, you can envision, you can transform. Make a beginning, don't preach. Just do it. Just do it. What can I do in my own surroundings? I can tell everybody, you do this, you do this. But what are you doing? Let's start. Charity begins at home. Let's start at home. Go beyond symbolization. Symbolism, big language, big words, jargon. Let's cut all of that. Let's get real. What is happening to our mother? Is she being treated with respect at home? Does she get space? Do we know what she likes, what she doesn't like? Does she have her private time? Let us start. Let's make a beginning somewhere. Then graduate to sisters, to communities, to societies, and to the nation. So that's a big takeaway from all of this. Respect is more important. There's no need for empowerment. Empowerment has a negative connotation, as if somebody doesn't have any merit and we are trying to impose power on them. It is not about empowerment. It is about letting them do what they are capable of, just giving them the opportunity to do. I think very fundamental to all the discussion that we had today is the power structure. It's all about power games, my dear. It is all about the power structure. It is convenient. You look across sections in the society. There are vulnerable sections who are kept where they are, not because It is in my mind, but because it is convenient for me, I need somebody to be looking after the home. So I keep the woman at home. I keep her disempowered. I keep her ignorant. I keep telling her, you are silly, you are silly, you are silly. And I had mentioned it at one point of time in Harvard University. One chairman made the mistake of saying that girls are bad in maths, and that fellow had to resign. Now that is the kind of thing that we need to be doing. I all credit. Somebody said all credit is man's, all discredit is a woman's. I think these are all stereotypes. It's all in our mind. Representation at a higher level, at a senior level, whether it is in the corporate world, whether it's in parliament, when you have falling rates, when you have more and more girl children missing, how can we talk about equal representation? It's premature. Let's get real. How can we talk of more CEOs? Government is doing something, but it is ultimately the society and the youth who have to be the change agents. Women's gangs are doing wonderfully well. Zura, let me tell you, there is a WOW group, Women on Wheels. The women's groups stick together, much against the stereotype that, oh, two women can't stand each other. There would be prejudice, there would be this, that. The Saas Bahu saga is in our minds. It is not real. So let us get real and let the youth take up the challenge.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Gauri Kumar. And so today you have seen the power of youth. And what our chief guest, Ms. Gauri Kumar, has mentioned, that you are free, you can think and you can fly. So please come forward, take your decisions for the benefit of the society. Don't only depend on the government. Civil, you are the society. You are 65%. You can take your decisions. Thank you very much for such a powerful, impactful program today. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV, News Gaon se Samvad Sarokar News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day a new topic. And tomorrow, our media conference with Lal Goel, the topic is COVID-19 impact on artists. And our panelists are Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, one-man expert commission on labor, Government of India. Kalamamni P. Unni Krishnan, renowned Indian Carnatic vocalist and playback singer, National Film Awardee, Chennai. Kala Kathili Kom, Dr. Vinduja Menon, renowned Indian classic dancer, singer and actor, artistic director, Kerala Natya Academy, Malaysia. Mr. Job Master, choreographer, district secretary, all Kerala Dance Teachers Organization, Thrissur. So please tune in tomorrow for media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Ms. Gauri Kumar, for giving your valuable advices and time. And I'm sure your today's program will definitely, and your guidance will definitely enlighten all the women, all the girls, and the day will not be far when I have to organize a program, the youth, role of youth in empowering men. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Goel. And I'll be available for any guidance, any mentoring that any of the participants or anybody else requires. So
Thank you all the youth guests today.
Thank